Hello, everyone. And I know I normally haven't done any Destiny content in a while. And I wanted to make this live stream on why I stopped playing Destiny. I just came back to play a little bit because I was basically begged. They just started Destiny 2. But in my opinion, my final thoughts on Destiny and my thoughts not just on Destiny, but the genre itself, and thinking back of the expansions they released
No data like encrypted data.
and all that. So if I'm actually going to log out of here real quick and switch for a sec. If you guys haven't known, I am a Destiny veteran. A Destiny veteran that has played Destiny from the beginning of Destiny 1. I beat the game back in 2014. Base game of Destiny 1. Okay. I completed the first raid that year. Okay. That year with this group of people. I then got the Dark Below got released. I was able to complete it that year as well. Then I was able to do the raid and completed that year as well. Not just play Destiny, beat Destiny, completed Destiny 1, completed Destiny 1's first raid, completed Destiny's first expansion and second raid. Then House of Wolves came. And that was in 2015. Okay. I did Prison of Elders, completed Prison of Elders for the first time. Now, so I'm right there. I've already completed both DLCs of Destiny 1. And now I know a lot of people are not wanting to know about my experience, and they want my final thoughts about the game, and we'll get to that point. But before anyone really says, "Oh, well, you aren't a veteran, you stopped playing," that might be true, but I was there since the very beginning of Destiny. Okay. The third expansion, Taken King, completed it. Completed the raid that year as well. Then Rise of Iron came, the final expansion for Destiny 1. I completed the raid that year as well. So, as I played Destiny, I had grown and loved this game. Forsaken came. When Forsaken got released, that's when I bought Destiny 2. Played both the first two expansions, Curse of Osiris, and then I believe the other one was Warmind. Completed the Red War, and did Forsaken. I actually believe I have me streaming it at one point. The game was fun. The game started to lose me when Lightfall dropped. When Lightfall dropped, I started losing interest in the game. Then Final Shape came, and I was able to complete the Final Shape. The 10-year-long journey I played Destiny has finally came to an end. I don't have Edge of Fate. I did not play any of the episodes besides the first episode that came out. And I did not play Renegades. Now, my final thoughts is what drove me away from Destiny. It's not the fact that Destiny was a bad game. I just couldn't afford to keep playing Destiny on a console to invest the amount of time like I used to. Okay? So I couldn't do a lot of the normal things I would normally be doing. Okay? So, I was a very heavily into PvP. Then they started like changing a lot of the sandboxes of PvP. And generally, it killed my mood for the game. In the final update of Destiny 2, I came back because my coworker asked me to. Asked me to come play with them. They just got Destiny. And I'm not gonna lie. Playing this final update and actually playing through the game again with them, I missed it. I won't lie. I missed playing. I missed doing the raids. I missed getting and grinding so much loot. Okay. Alright. The amount of loot I farmed was outrageous. 920. I played a good portion. When I say a good, I mean I played outrageous amount of Destiny. So much that it's unhealthy amount. And ever since the final update, I felt like it was hard to realize that Destiny was coming to an end. There was not going to be any more updates after this, though there was a recently new update that are fixing some bugs, but there's no more content getting added. I don't know if there will be a Destiny 3, if that ever does, but I'm going to say this. If there ever would ever be a Destiny 3, I will more likely be there. There is a heavily chance that there will be, due to the fact that there is a petition out there for people signing for a Destiny 3, and I believe at this current time it has like 410,000 signatures, which is already more than triple, actually, like 300% more players than the Steam charts for Marathon. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Marathon. I actually really do enjoy Marathon. But a lot of other people don't. and I understand that, but why can't we live in a world with both games being active? Why did Destiny 2 have to end for Marathon's sake? I don't think it was because they wanted to end Destiny 2. They saw an opportunity to potentially expand their pool of players by adding Marathon, but failed really bad because I don't think they generally knew how to make an extraction shooter game like other games. Keep this in mind. If Marathon would have came out not as an extraction shooter game, but similar to like Destiny, I think it would have a bigger player base than normal. But I also could see that maybe Bungie is trying to set up a new world, a new universe that potentially links with Destiny, but I don't know. All I gotta say is, in the final update, I don't think it was the best update or the worst update. I'm only guaranteeing rank 5 because that's just because I don't have the actual expansions, so I cannot progress any further than that. Like for this one, I have to faction unit. Yeah. So basically, I do think Destiny won't die per se. As long as there's players playing Destiny, I don't think Destiny will die. I don't think Destiny will die. I think the game will slowly lose players, but I think even to this day, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe even 5 years down the line, that Destiny 2 might still be alive. Because the love and passion that players play in and put in this game, there is no itch that can ever attain my catch to the game as strong as Destiny has than any other game. And that's saying something. There is not a single game that has kept me entertained for 10 years, per se, to keep me playing the game. Now, I want to say there is a heavily high chance maybe Sony is not saying anything, maybe Bungie is not saying anything, but maybe they are working on Destiny 3 and they don't want to say anything. And if there is a Destiny 3, there's a few things I would want. Well, there's a few things I want in Destiny 3. One, I want raids in the game. Obviously, I want raids in the game. That would be great. Okay. Dungeons. I get rid of the dungeon keys because I generally think the dungeon keys are just not enough. I generally think $20 for a dungeon key is ridiculous. Okay. On top of that, get rid of the PlayStation Plus requirement, Xbox Live requirement to play this. Because having those requirements means less players. Less players means less money, Less money means less expansions. Less expansions means less players again, and it just loops around, and then eventually people start to leave the game. Get rid of the dungeon keys. Get rid of the PlayStation Plus requirement, Xbox requirement. If you're gonna make a Destiny 3, charge a little bit of money. 40, 50, 60, $70. I think $60 for a Destiny 3 is doable. Do not add a battle pass right off rip. I think you should add a battle pass and have a battle pass only after the first expansion. Do not add the battle pass stuff until after you make your first ever expansion. Okay? Add a pre-order. On top of that, Destiny 3's PvP. Revert this shit back to Destiny 1 PvP. Like, let's just be honest, Destiny 1 PvP was, like, the most balanced game on, in all of Destiny. The PvP was fun. And all that. Go back to Destiny 1 PvP. Okay? Simple as that. On top of that, classes. If you are going to keep the classes in the game, do not just make Titan, Hunter, Warlock. Add 3 more classes to the game. Okay? Add 3 more classes. Okay? What 3 classes would I want to see? Well, we have Titan. Titan. I would say is the more of the brawler. I would say Hunter. The distance. Warlock, the supporter, and I would even say add something similar like add like a class called Soulbringer. Soulbringer would be like a character that harnesses stasis, that uses elemental reactions. Like, add, like, elemental reactions. Like, if you hit an enemy with fire and then hit them with ice, it can ignite. Like how, like, the shotgun and from the Roots of Nightmare. And if you're not going to do that, a cool concept would be having no classes, but have them spec'd into certain abilities. And imagine wielding a Titan Warlock, or a Titan Hunter, or a Hunter Warlock, or a Warlock something similar. Or run, at one point you might be able to mix and match, instead of going 2 subclasses of that, you could potentially go through all 3, but not get a bigger buff. You get all 3 abilities, but you only can choose one of the ultimates. I generally think maybe adding just one class, and spec us into any. So if we wanted to spec into any role, that would be great. Raids. Not raids. I did say raids, dungeons. Crucible. Strikes. Bring back strikes. I don't know what these Fireteam Vanguard alerts, fire ops, but get rid of the Fireteam ops. I'd rather you just go back to strikes, nightfalls. Okay. Gambit. As much as I like Gambit, not everyone else does. So, in my opinion, I think you're better off just scrapping Gambit. Completely scrapping Gambit. Okay? And then, for Destiny 3, a way you could do is completely write a story and making it to where you're not just Awoken, you're not just Cabal, or Awoken, human, Exo. Add the other races. Like, you can play as a Hive, you could play as a human, Exo, Cabal, whatever. And then have race feats. For example, Cabal. Larger targets have more health. So imagine a Cabal tank, Titan. Cabal Titan. Or imagine a Hive Titan. Or something similar like that. And then, or are no longer bound to the characters from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Scrap it. Make it to where they're, like, you could set up a story where we make our Guardian, and we the very first mission, we're honoring the death of our previous Guardian. Okay, the death of our Guardian. And such and such. And imagine having Saint 14 take us under their arm, or Ikora taking us under their arm, and telling us about how our Guardian once saved the universe, but a greater threat has appeared, and we need to prepare ourselves, and stuff like that. A nice opening of Destiny 3 would be such a good thing for the community, if a Destiny 3 would ever be made. But in my final thoughts, I think Destiny 2, I don't like the idea how the way Destiny 2 just ended off. In my opinion, if they were gonna end Destiny 2 off, they should have ended it off in the final shape. In my opinion, they should have ended it off in the final shape. But then they kept adding more lore, like a greater threat is among us. Whoever was behind the Witness, someone that convinced the Witness, the Traveler, was the being to save whatever, that had the power to conquer the world. Imagine not what happens if we fight. Make it where the Traveler is becoming corrupt, and then we actually have to fight the Traveler for the first time. And in the end, we kill the Traveler to stop the corruption and end all Guardians and stuff like that. But I generally think Destiny 2 should never have ended the way it ended. Now, of course, I don't know what Edge of Fate or Renegades had in store. And I probably never will. But I think Destiny 2 should have never ended on the way it has ended. It should have ended in final shape. If they were gonna work on Marathon, they should have ended the game on the final shape of Baleheart when we had to fight the Witness. Okay. What was that one mission one? It was I think I have to go on the planet to do the quest or something like that. But I do think Destiny should have ended in the Pale Heart, fighting the Witness. Then they should have spent, after defeating the Witness and ending the game, they should have then focused all their resources into Marathon to actually making it good. But they didn't. They tried to juggle both things and failed. And I think it was a little too much. But in my final thoughts, I think Destiny should have never ended the way it was. But I hate to say that this will probably be the only video I do for Destiny. If Destiny 3 does get confirmed and gets actually announced, then I might start doing Destiny 2 content again. I might actually play through Renegade. I might actually play through Edge of Fate. But I know this has been a long thought, but I missed the playing the gun feeling that no other game has ever been able to match. I just did not like the way the ending came to for Destiny. Such a great franchise came to an end because of stupid decisions. And I'm going to say this. Sony generally effed Bungie so hard. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not happy with Sony. I do think Sony is getting too greedy. And it's going to be a backfire that potentially someone else is going to buy Bungie. And then I'm hoping that they might consider making D3, Destiny 3, and taking the feedback that people want, revert the PvP to Destiny 1 style, do not add a class ability like Titan's Barricade, Hunter's Dodge, and Warlock's Healing Rift, because I'm going to tell you this is already hard enough to balance the supers between all three of those classes, let alone the class abilities. If you're gonna add the class abilities, make it to where you could choose one of the three class abilities. You want a barricade? Do you want a rift? Do you want to dodge? And actually put them all on one class, if that's the case. But that being said, my final thoughts is I'm not happy with the way that Destiny 2 ended. And it's heartbreaking to see how Destiny, the franchise, ended in its final update. Because it was such an amazing game. And it was also where I met a lot of my friends that I talk to on a daily basis. Been friends with two of my buddies that played Destiny for 10 years. I played with them for 10 years. I was only 16 when I played. And then I came and played Destiny every day with them. There are some friends I lost on Destiny, and there's friends I gained on Destiny. But in the end, all we can do is just cherish the moments of Destiny, if we can. I'm a little upset that Destiny had to come to an end like this. But there's nothing we can do to change about it. All we can do is just keep demanding, keep requesting for Destiny 3. And then maybe our screams can be heard into the void at one point. And then maybe Destiny 3 might appear. If not Destiny 3, maybe another game down the line comes out that's similar to Destiny, gets released. And if that happens, someone let me know. Let me know. I will look into it and I might start making content on it. And that being said, this is goodbye to Bungie. This is goodbye to Destiny. And this is goodbye to people that has followed my content from Destiny. And the people I've met on Destiny. It's heartbreaking to see how the game ends. And that I have to say, I'll cherish every moment the rest of my life on this game. I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye, Guardians.